I am Holly Hubenschmidt. I am the Director of Instruction and Research Services at Webster University Libraries in St. Louis. The librarians in St. Louis are very collaborative with our librarians at our international campuses. And nobody from St. Louis has been here to visit yet. So we really wanted to, we've been working with the librarians via Zoom, but we really wanted to see what was going on the ground, have some more in-depth relationship building and training, and see if there was any ways that we could help and ways that we can learn from the librarians here in Uzbekistan, because we don't feel like we're bringing one form of librarianship to the world. We're making a better library throughout our network with all of the perspectives, and the Uzbek perspective was really important to have. We've covered a lot of, with the students, of basically how to get started with your research, some of the resources available, the tremendous number of ebooks available, and some of the tricks to help you search for those, databases of journal articles, and best ways to approach search for journal articles. And just some tips and tricks for staying organized in your research and being a more effective searcher and an ethical searcher with citation. And then with faculty, I've shared some newer resources that we've added recently. I was able to participate earlier this school year in some online training with the faculty. So they had gotten kind of an initial welcome from me and an introduction to resources. But this was a chance to share some new updates. Also to invite them to be looking out for invitations to present at some of the Webster University conferences that are coming up, our teaching festival, our collaboratory. We really want to have people throughout the network, all of this expertise represented. So I brought an invitation for them to propose presentations for those conferences. I think Webster's unique in that we were really early implementers of online education back in the mid-90s, when most other universities weren't even thinking about it. We were beginning to offer online classes, and the library, to keep up with this, at that point started to go more and more to electronic resources. And then as our network has grown around the world, we really understand that 70% of Webster students are not in St. Louis. They will never set foot in our building. So as wonderful as our building is, and as much as we love the books on our shelves, we have to have the resources that are available worldwide. So we license ebooks, we license databases, streaming videos, and then we make all of those available through an easy proxy system. So students do have to log in to access them, because these are things that are not freely available. If they are lucky enough to find one of these articles by Googling, Google's going to ask them for a credit card before they can access it, whereas through Webster, we have it available. They just need their student information to log in. I think the overall collection is really good. One thing we're very excited about in the library is the University Library in St. Louis houses the university archives. So the historical record of the university is under our guard. We keep it there. So we are beginning to digitize more and more materials about the history of the university. There are student newspapers that go back to almost 1915 when the university was founded, and we've started digitizing those, and we're putting those up on a website. There's been some fantastic professors and amazing alumni that have come through, and some of them have given their papers and records to the archives. That's a little bit trickier because we have to get permissions. We have a faculty member who knew amazing people and we have letters from Kurt Vonnegut and Thomas Merton and just some really famous names. To put those letters online, we have to get all the right permissions. So those are not as easy to put out. But the student newspapers are just a treasure. The yearbooks are just a treasure. And those are the kinds of really unique things that we're looking at that we have on the shelves, and we're finding ways to make them available to everyone. I think the library is critical. I think one of the most important things you learn as a student at a university is kind of to be open-minded and ask questions and to really look for answers. And I think that's where the library comes into play. We have the resources for you to look through. They're the reputable resources. You can certainly Google information, we all do, but Google knows it's me when I'm searching. So it's trying to give me what I want, what it thinks I want, as opposed to maybe the best information. Library resources are a neutral resource. Everybody's going to get the same experience. It doesn't matter if Google knows your politics or your age range and gender and tries to feed you what's going to make you happy. You get the full breadth of the research going through the library. So it's really a vital tool for researchers, and those are the people we're creating through our education. We really try to partner with the faculty. There's research that shows that the number one thing that gets students to use the library is their faculty member. So it's really critically important that we partner with faculty, and we will support their research. We have a number of services that will help them perhaps publish an article or find a conference to present at. I know we've just recently added several books that have been published by faculty here at the Tashkent campus. There's one on diplomacy and there's a book on 5G that is incredibly cool. So we've added those to our collection. And I think the faculty and the librarians really feel the same way, that the learning environment is critical. Students need to feel supported. Webster students are not one type of student. They're not all confident. Some are very confident. They're all different levels, but that's fine. We want everybody to succeed. So really the most critical thing is to be supportive and meet students where they are and help them get to the next level and then the next level. And so we really work hard to partner and to form community to make students feel safe and supported so that they can learn. I know I am a very lucky librarian to get to travel like this. I loved my visit to Tashkent. I have not been any place like this in the world before. It is a totally unique city, but I felt like I've been treated so warmly by everybody. The students have been fantastic. The faculty have been so gracious. Everybody here has made this such a great experience. I've been working really hard this week, but people have also found some time to, their evenings when they could be off, they're taking me out to dinner. Or yesterday we got to go visit the National Library, which was amazing. So fitting in these little opportunities to get to see a little bit of the city has been wonderful. I highly recommend anyone to visit Tashkent, and I hope it becomes really a study abroad destination for our St. Louis students, because I think they will treasure experiences they have here. I know they will. I've been in several national libraries. I've been very lucky to have visited many of our international campuses, and I think the National Library here in Tashkent is totally unique. It is incredibly modern, but it is also, it's welcoming. I couldn't believe how many people were actively using the library. I believe every seat was filled. Every computer had someone sitting there. It was just the activity, the beehive of activity. There was an energy there that I really appreciated. And through my library colleagues here at the Tashkent campus, they were able to work their connections so that I was able to meet some of the librarians at the National Library, and some of them took me behind the scenes and showed me a little bit about their catalog system and how they catalog. It was a very special visit. There were a number of questions, particularly in today's session, about just some little tricks or some personal research that people had done that maybe that didn't go as well as they had hoped, and they wondered how I would approach the topic. So I tried, but I also had to admit at times that I'm not the best person to help with this topic, that we have subject librarians in St. Louis who have specialties, areas of expertise. I'm a medical librarian by training, so if you ask me an international relations question, I can help to a point. But at some point, I'm going to tell you, there's this really amazing gentleman in St. Louis. We need to set up a Zoom session between the two of you so that he can really help you, because he will understand the topic better. So it was kind of fun to be stumped by the students. There were questions about textbooks and space, and I know this campus it's growing so fast. We're all amazed in St. Louis, but I also know that nobody's stopping the growth. Everybody knows there's more growth coming, and so I know there are plans for improving the library, and I've gotten a sneak peek at those plans, and wow, there are amazing things coming to this campus as far as libraries. In St. Louis, we have a beautiful 5-story library building. It's a gorgeous place to work. There are 300,000 books on the shelf in that building. But because we were such early adopters of electronic resources, we've been focused on ebooks for quite a while. We have almost 600,000 ebooks available to our students. We've got tens of thousands of journals available electronically. There are 160 databases. They're mostly article databases, but some of them are really specialized information, maybe industry information for business, or streaming videos, or streaming music. It's very exciting to see. Our newest database is a database of statistics. We had heard from faculty in a number of different disciplines that not only did they want some more statistical information, but just the raw data, and having students have the ability to get the raw data and do their own analysis. So we've recently added a new database. We found some ways to save some money. We're constantly looking at, are we being most effective with our resources? We saved a little money and we're able to add this new database. And it's very exciting to see the potential it has, and faculty are pretty excited too. Webster really is, it's a network that really does focus on the connections. So we do put a lot of emphasis on trying to connect people. So faculty have these conferences where they might be hosted in St. Louis, but they're primarily on Zoom. Faculty are invited from throughout the network to present, even on panels together with people from other campuses. We began hosting several years ago a project called the Global Student Leadership Summit. And we bring students from throughout the network together for a week in May. They take a course together, they work on a project together to help better their campus. And so we take small groups from all of the international campuses. They come together for a week. They get to bond, have some fun, and also do some work, get some leadership training. And they found a donor to fund the next 2 conferences. So we have it every other year. The next one will be in May in Leiden. So I really hope there are students from our campus here in Uzbekistan who will join us in the Netherlands. It's those types of opportunities, you don't find them at any other university. I think Webster really understands the basics of librarianship, which I think is really what your president is getting at with these very ambitious goals. But librarianship is really, it's changed so much. It used to be about access to information back when everything was in books and we were the keepers of the books. And now everybody has way too much information. So libraries are about finding the good information and making the good information available to people. And I think Webster is doing that at our campus level, and the president is doing that at the national level. And I just love being in sync with such a forward-thinking leader. So I think we're all on the same page and trying to move forward with helping people be better consumers of information.